Qualcomm, we knew obviously every year they come out with a new generation CPU every year, and we knew this one was coming. Right now, they've launched it a little early. They typically have their Hawaii. They have their launch conference. They do like a annual launch and conference at the same time. Now that's typically right around New Year's, right? Just before, maybe I think it's like the week before Christmas. And that's when they launched the previous generations of their flagship CPUs, mobile CPUs. This year, we got word they're pushing it forward. So a lot of different tech companies have been pushing forward their launches. Qualcomm, as we're mentioning with the CPU. Samsung moved forward their launch. Google Pixel moved forward their launch. Who am I missing? Samsung. Did I say Samsung moved forward? Yeah, Samsung moved forward their launch. OnePlus. That's what I was thinking of. OnePlus moved forward, pushed forward their launch. As much as I hate to admit it, I think they're moving more towards when Apple is launching theirs. And that's okay, right? I think Qualcomm wanted to get this CPU out very fast. They've had it ready for a little while, but they wanted to get it right around the same time Apple's launching their new CPU, the Apple Bionic A18 Pro. That's going to be its biggest competitor. Minus there is Mediatek Dimensity, and that might be on a more of a global stage because not many devices here in the United States are going to be running Mediatek CPUs. I wish they were, but they're just not. But here in the United States, biggest competitor is Apple by far with their A18 Pro. So Apple's traditionally always had the best performing, best battery life mobile CPUs, and they always used to release them with the new iPhone, right? Every single year, it's not only beat the best Android CPUs in performance, it typically beat them in battery life as well. Not on every single device, but generally, right? When you compare the big boys like the iPhone 15 Pro Max, iPhone 13 Pro Max, always had best battery life and was the best performing. This is the first year ever in history that an Android CPU, right, an Android chip, not only beats an Apple's best CPU, blows it away. Now, I put a YouTube short out, and I think a reel on Instagram in regards to this, just a little quick one. It's a big deal, right? You're like, what's the big deal? It's a big deal. In the tech world, it's a big deal. It's a huge deal. Now, the laptop I'm streaming on, the new Snapdragon X Elite. So Qualcomm, getting into this CPU. So Qualcomm got into designing and manufacturing ARM chipsets. So Qualcomm, who makes this Snapdragon CPU X Elite, is not only going after Apple in the mobile phone world, right, competing against iPhone's best CPUs. Qualcomm is also going after Apple's best laptop chipsets, right, in small desktops, right? I'm not talking about the huge AMD AI CPUs that are out, although these do AI very well, but I'm talking about in phones and in laptops. Qualcomm set their eyes on Apple. So Apple's got the M series for their CPUs and their laptops. And Qualcomm just came out a few months ago with the Snapdragon X Elite. It's a new ARM chipset specifically for laptops. And that's what I'm actually streaming on right now. I could not wait. So they bring a mobile technology into the laptop world, right? And it's performed very well. It's right up there, not with the M4, Apple's latest, but just under the M4, in between the M3 and the M4. Good battery life, good performance, all that good stuff. Been loving this thing. I've basically been on it for a day. It's great device. It's a great device. Now, I was getting at that because they have the way that they specifically designed the Snapdragon X Elite chip It's got what they call Orion cores. It's a new technology, right? A new technology of how they uh, structure this ARM chipset, this CPU. And it performed so well, such good battery life, such a good performer in benchmarks and testing. They brought that same technology to their mobile chipsets. So this new Snapdragon 8 Elite CPU is going to have the same Orion cores. That's right, the same Orion cores that they're putting in their laptops, they're putting in this mobile chipset. So it is a absolute beast. Now, I have some specs here that we'll get into. The first phone that is going to, actually, you know what? The first phone that's going to be carrying the CPU is the OnePlus 13. Now, we have pictures, we got official specs that we'll get into in just a second. I was going to show you this real quick. Let's see, did I upload it? Boy, I hope I did. I got so many phones, I can't remember what phone I saved it on. Let me see here. Shame on me, I should have had this ready. Sorry for all the listeners out there. Okay, it is on this phone, so at least I don't have to be going around here searching. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's go to... Let's do this. I got quick share now. Hang on. Alright, my bad. Let's see here. What the hell is going on? Alright, there we go. Alright, so let me upload these real quick for everybody. What time is it? Damn. This CPU is so new, I don't have the clock right. Okay, so now I have them uploaded. Let's get into the specifics real quick. We're gonna nerd out just for a minute. Where's my uploads? That's what I hate about getting a new PC. You don't know where shit is. All right, it's uploading right now. We're gonna check this out. Whew. All right, check this out. So here we go. Here are the specs for the Snapdragon X Elite. Performance transform. So it's a Qualcomm Orion CPU with CPU can rev up to 4.32 gigahertz. It's on a second generation 3 nanometer process node. For those out there that's info is probably flying over your head, it's a very, very well-tuned foundation this chip is built on. It's manufactured by TSMC. They are the world's premier CPU manufacturer, and this is their world-renowned second generation 3 nanometer process. So it's a patented process that only they do, and they do it better than anybody in the world. Power saving. So here with this CPU, you're going to see, oh man, I can't wait to get my hands on this. You're going to see outstanding performance, right? It doubles the performance of Apple's best CPU. It doesn't just barely beat it, it blows it away. So you're going to see outstanding performance, and you're going to see outstanding battery life. So not only is it going to generate all the power you need to run AAA title games, process those pictures and videos, and when you make a video in CapCut, it'll process it in 1 second. Not really, but you know what I'm talking about. I mean, dramatically faster. And you should see phenomenal battery life. I think we've reached a point where I didn't think we were going to see this good of numbers of performance, but it looks really good. Power savings, 44% power savings on the CPU. GPU, 40% power saving GPU. Will that translate to real world to real world usability? Look, time will tell. We will have to wait and see until we get these devices in. OnePlus 13, and we'll get to that in a second. It's going to be announced here. Is it this week? Later, I think it's this week or next, or I don't know. We'll see if they've announced it, a launch date. I can't wait to get my hands on it. Will that power savings translate to the phone? Will you get 44% or 40% more screen on time? Battery life, I don't know. And I don't think anybody does until we can actually get them in hand. But even if you get 20% more, that's huge, right? So even if you get half that, that's a big deal, right? If my Pixel, best battery life phone I've ever had, Pixel 9 Pro XL, I can get close to 10 hours screen on time, right? Now, you take 40% more, that's an extra 4 hours. I mean, that's incredible. That'll be a 2-day. And the OnePlus 12 already had really good battery life. So you should see close to 2-day use out of a phone on one charge, right? I mean, I hate, I'm kind of reluctant to say that, but it's certainly possible. Generative AI powerhouse. So Qualcomm's been working on AI, as everybody has, seemingly. And yes, it's annoying. I hate that term, but it is what it is. They've made advancements in these CPUs to process AI. It's AI capabilities, AI functions on said device, whatever device you're using it on. OnePlus 13, Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, whatever you're going to use this on. AI, the long processing times, the waiting for your render to get completed, hopefully will be a thing of the past. Hopefully it should get everything done and get everything done super quick. Gaming, I'm sure gaming on this thing's, it'll handle everything with a breeze. Camera, so with these CPUs, so not only do they make big improvements, big leaps in the gaming world, right? Rendering graphics, processing, power. It also brings improvements in cameras. So how the camera, how your phone works on, how your camera works on your phone You have to have a sensor, right? The camera to take the image and or video. And then you have to process it. It's sort of like you're a human, right? Your eyes, you see something with your eyes, and then your brain processes it, right? So it's the same thing with a phone. The sensors in your phone take the still photo, still image, or video, and then it processes it in the CPU. So technically, the better performing your CPU is and GPU are, the better it can process those images, those videos, those graphics. So apparently, not only are we going to see a big performance boost with games, with battery life, stuff like that. Apparently, I've read on a couple occasions here in this past week, the camera improvements that this new Snapdragon 8 Elite mobile CPU is going to bring is drastic. So, what does that mean? I mean, I guess when it comes down to it, better pictures, better videos, but that's up to the manufacturer. So if Samsung gets a hold of the CPU, which they will, OnePlus gets a hold of this a CPU, which they will, it's up to them to fine-tune the sensors with this CPU. Although this new CPU gives the manufacturers more capabilities and more processing power to fine-tune those images and or videos. So should see a drastic improvement when it comes to Samsung photo qualities, video capabilities. Same thing with OnePlus as well. So sound improvements, security improvements, connectivity improvements. This has an all new modem in it, the Qualcomm X80 modem. Supposed to be on the level of Pixel's now. Pixel has the very best mobile modem in the industry, which deals with your connectivity, whether it's Wi-Fi and or network carrier services, i.e., for example, T-Mobile, right? AT&T. It's how your phone gets a hold of that, searches for signals, and how strong it holds on to that signal. That is what your modem does. This new Snapdragon 8 Elite has an all-new modem. The X80 modem should be on par with the Pixel or even better. So that's another thing with battery life. That's a real drainer on your phone. Is if you have a weak modem, meaning if it's always searching for a signal and it can't really hold on to them, it always letting it go and searching for a new one, that might be the biggest battery drain out of anything. So not to say Snapdragon phones had issues in the past with connectivity. It's just they're building upon it and making it that much better. What else we got here? I believe that's it. So let's see. Here is the new Snapdragon 8 Elite in layman's terms, right? So let's get off of that graph and let's show you this. It's built on a 3nm process, 4.32 gigahertz max frequency, 44% faster CPU, 40% faster GPU, 45% faster NPU, neural processing unit. That's what handles the AI stuff in the processor. Again, it's using the Oryon cores that the Snapdragon X Elite has in them. So this thing is going to be a beast in your phone. 35% faster ray tracing, 33% ISP improvement, Fast Connect 7900, and then here's your Snapdragon X80 modem, world's fastest mobile processor. Now, we did not talk about Fast Connect 7900 real quick. What that is Qualcomm's putting out what they call Fast Connect. Fast Connect is basically like it's like a way to connect other Qualcomm mobile products for information sharing, data sharing. So if you have a Qualcomm device over here, which this does, I have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in here. And where's another Qualcomm? Damn, you know what? I don't have one in the room. Anyways, Oh, my computer. Duh. So you got a Qualcomm device here. You got a Qualcomm laptop here. They have where it's called, what do they call it? Fast Connect. It's a new version, Fast Connect. This is version 7900. It's just how they connect each device to each other. So it'll connect real strong, real fast file transfers, video transfers, music transfers, data sharing. So they're going to try to push that here because a lot of people have never heard that, right? I saw that maybe a year or two ago, and I was like, what the hell is Fast Connect? And looked into it. So they're going to try to push that now, which helps, right? Which helps if you have two phones, or your wife, your girlfriend, or your kid has a Qualcomm device, as with you. It just makes sharing stuff, videos, pictures, outside of using a messaging app. You can send files real fast. It's kind of like another quick share, but it's through the modem, through the CPU. So that is cool. Now, speaking of, so how fast can you get your hand on one of these devices? Well, good news for you. OnePlus 13 will